Yeah, my name is Leopard Uwimana. I'm in charge of the department in dealing with affordable housing in this institution of Rwanda Housing Authority. The services that we provide is to deal with investors in affordable housing. We assess their projects and to see whether they are affordable in terms of Rwandan norms. Then we provide infrastructure subsidy, and we assist investors to get buyers and to get also the developable land. So those are services that we do at this moment. Yeah, the motivation of turning Kigali into a clean and a green city in Africa, it's increasing the well-being of the people. So, and our leadership has selected a policy of making Kigali clean and green. Clean, I was saying that it's about making people living in the city of Kigali to live in a good condition. But green is this policy which is nowadays for reducing, let's say, carbon emissions. We are trying to embrace the renewable energy, not damaging the environment. So, in a brief, it's a policy that was introduced by our top leadership, but vis-a-vis the environmental condition that the world is facing. So, yeah, it's in a brief, it's combating the environmental hazards which are affecting the world. Well, the affordable housing program is targeting people currently between, as you say, earning between $230 up to $1,200 per month, because when looking at the income pyramid, those are people who have no other means of accessing houses in a normal condition, in the current condition that we are living in. So looking at them, that's why the government created this program to facilitate them to access housing. In addition to that, the government created a fund which allows them to access long-term mortgages. So those are people who are who works, they have formal and informal jobs. They are struggling to get where to live. If no special program is provided for them, they can put up informal settlement. It's obvious. People are like that. They need to find where to live. So, as the government is trying to make their city clean, is trying to have a housing solution for those people in the low and the middle income brackets. So that's why this program came in. So you may say how private, or they can be national or international developers, how can they come in this program, and what opportunities do we have in this program? So I would say, let's give example of Kigali. Kigali itself, it has a serious gap of more than 300,000 units in 15 years to come. So that housing deficit is so serious, and more than 70% it's needed for low and middle income people. So without providing proper housing program for those people, our cities cannot be sustainable because people will not have where to live. And sometimes they will have to travel several kilometers to reach their working area, which has several disadvantages. So opportunities, taking that 300,000 times 70%, so you can find that around more than 200,000 units are needed. So it needs different partners from investors, financiers, and the other key stakeholders in this program to make sure that those houses are constructed. It's a long way to go, but investment opportunities are there. Either housing or investing in in the construction materials, production of construction materials, in developing some new technologies which can provide the first way of construction. So those are key opportunities in this program with the local or international developers. Well, the major consequence of COVID-19 in the construction sector here in Rwanda was mainly linked to the economy. There's a huge deficit of financing in the housing sector. There are some projects which have been stopped due to this social distancing policy which were brought. But social distancing has a little impact on the project, but most of the project stopped due to financial problems. Another issue which was brought by this pandemic is the importation of building materials. So even if we try to use the local construction materials, but there are many of them coming abroad. I would say finishing materials, fittings, electrical fittings, sanitary fittings, tiling. So all those things come outside the country. So the way they were used to be to come here in Rwanda changed. Let's take example, something come from China. Reaching Dar es Salaam port, it has to be taken to Rusumo border post. Due to COVID control, you have to take another truck from Kigali to take the same goods, bring them to Kigali. So the price of transport is almost twice. So the price, there was a hiking of price in the construction materials. So that's a major consequence of COVID-19 that I see in the construction sector here. But regarding social distancing, there's no big impact. If I have money, I can employ as many people as I can by providing safeguard measures against COVID-19. So, but the major issue can be sought on financing. Rwanda is an open economy, and it encourages foreign investors and developers to come in. So Rwanda has a very fair tender process which allows everyone to participate. So We have a procurement law when you want to participate in a public procurement. So there's a specific law that has to be followed, and sometimes most of the government works they are put on international tender. So everyone can participate. You have visited many sites here. You have seen that most of the developers are international developers. So we have a good and fair procurement procedures. So in affordable housing, the way of participating in procurement is even simple, and you don't need even to wait for advertisement of something, of some works, so that you can participate. You simply submit your expression of interest. Then your expression of interest is assessed. You are given a go ahead. What can be next is to see how you can get land. So the land is always given depending on your financial capacity, and you promise to the government that you will develop what is in the agreement. So it's very simple, because affordable housing is not a government project. It's a PPP, a public-private partnership. It's not solely a public project. They are PPP project. So everyone has a role to play in those projects. So procurement, national procurement law is not entirely applied in this program. Technology, new or innovative technologies are needed in this construction industry. To avoid using traditional way, in order to supplement the traditional way of construction. So traditionally, people here used to use bricks and concrete. So those are in situ construction method. But as we are striving to get cheap houses, so prefabrication is also important in this housing sector, because it needs low labor intensive. They are low labor intensive, so new technologies are really needed to revolutionize the housing sector here in Rwanda, so by reducing the construction cost. So we have currently around 11 new technologies which were introduced in the housing sector here, and they are really performing well. So anyone who have new technology which is proven to be cheap, it's immediately approved here. So they need to have the materials approved by the Rwanda Standard Board, and we as the Rwanda Housing Authority, we facilitate investors to recognize that technology as a new construction system which can be introduced in the housing sector. So it's so simple. We are very open for new construction methods. New construction methods lead also to green construction system, to reduce the cost of construction, and increase the construction speed. So as we want more houses, We need obviously some innovative technology which can facilitate us to reach that goal. Yeah, international firms are most welcome to participate in this housing sector. There are two ways of partnership because investors, I think, you know more about the Rwanda Development Board. It facilitates investors to feel like they are developing in their countries. So developers can choose two methods. They can choose to go on their own. They can choose to partner with the local developers, local contractors, developers. They can they can even choose to be with the government wherever possible. In affordable housing, where I have more experience, so the developer can partner with the local, but the government has also the role to play. So the government, I told you, the government brings infrastructure. Sometimes the government can hire another contractor to do infrastructure when the developer of houses is not interested in developing infrastructure. Those are key partnerships that we can have in a triple P. Investor can bring money, can bring technology, can also bring the construction firm, and the government prepare the budget for infrastructure. The government prepare the buyers and prepare the financing for the buyers. So you can understand that everyone has a key role to play. That's why when investor comes, the first step is to sign a memorandum of understanding, specifying the role of each party. So in this program of affordable housing, so investors are not alone. They are accompanied by the government throughout the project, because we want to succeed. We want investors to succeed. We want our people to get their homes at promised low cost. So the partnership, the private partnership, is key for the success of the program. Green construction method is encouraged by the government of Rwanda to protect, first of all, environment, and to respect the norms of new construction method. And as you said, to reduce the CO2 emissions. In brief, to protect environment. So the government initiated the construction of green villages by putting up some regulations to control whether a building is green or not. So there are some toolkits which are used for that verification. Even in our permitting system, if you want a building to be green, so there are some steps, some items that has to be fulfilled. So normally in a construction, making a building green is not mandatory, but as we want to be, as Rwanda wants to be green, and to make a durable building, easy to maintain, with with the low maintenance cost. So having green building is almost mandatory. So we have the guidelines, we have the system which allows us to go green. So one can see that making green buildings is very easy here. So it can be done very easily with the government partnership and guidance. So that's what I can say on that.
Yeah, and how can international firms be involved in it?
Well, international firms, they are the ones who have these green technologies. So they are almost most welcome. So green technology, it's multidimensional. So one firm can come with good lighting technology. Another firm can come with a well system. There's a system that they called well. So they define how well is. Another company can come with low radiation walls. So they are different depending on building parts. So anyone who can have that green technology can be introduced. There are some other companies who say, so we have recycling system of waste. So all those, it's cross-cutting. So it touches the everyday life of human. So all those green technologies are all embraced here in Rwanda, and they can be used in buildings where we have a green village. Those can be used, and by following those steps, so a building can be certified as green. So that's what we have here. So, and when you have a certification that you are green, so the durability, maintenance are guaranteed.